New South Wales doomed. And New South Wales out of the Origin series with the team written on paper. Should they have picked Adam Reynolds? Should they have picked Cody Walker? Should they have picked Nicho Hynes? Should they have picked Matt Burton? And the list goes on and on and on. But New South Wales fans, you have to get behind your team regardless. But I think Queensland is going to be a clean sweep in 2023. And unfortunately for Brad Fittler, he'll fall on his sword after game 2. From my predictions, the only positives out of the team for me, Latrell Mitchell and for Crichton, that's no-brainer. Cook and for Uppy, that's no-brainer. He should have already been there. Moses for Cleary, I'm not sure about that. No doubt he plays some good football, Moses. But if I was looking at it with the combination that Adam Reynolds has with Cook and would have had with Cody Walker in the team, that would have been the better option here. And if you were going to stick with this situation you did with Kevin Lua, I think Nicho Hynes was the man. But I know Nicho Hynes had a disappointing performance on the weekend, and he's a question mark over whether he can beat the top 8 teams in finals football, which is a fair enough comment. That's why they didn't pick him. I understand that selection, why they didn't pick him. But if they were going to do that, I would have put Adam Reynolds in every day of the week. But get behind Moses, fans. Robson and for Hynes on the bench. I think that's a good selection, Robson. But it should have been Uppy and Cook in the first game. But Robson, very good. I'd rather have seen Dylan Walker there. Well, actually, you could see both of them on the bench, to be honest. I think Dylan Walker deserved the spot, and you never know, like he won in game 3. Robson playing very good football, no doubt about it. And then obviously Stefano for debut with TPJ gone. No surprise TPJ's gone, but interesting they're gone with Stefano. Someone on debut compared to bringing in like a Regan Campbell Gillard type player. No, there's more than just him, of course, but just some experienced forwards they could have gone with, but they've gone with youth. But like Queensland, so it's not a bad selection. Stefano's a good player, don't get me wrong. But in the big game here, I would have rather seen a Dalfinukin type player in that role. But we will see, because Queensland have made some interesting selections as well. But yeah, to be honest, yeah, Latrell. So Tedesco, he's going to have a big game. He's going to have to really deliver with Latrell. But my problem for New South Wales is the attacking game. It's not got better in this game. It probably got worse. The only good, well, obviously Cook and Uppy, you could say similar type players. Latrell is really the only big in for me. Moses might do a bit more than Cleary though. I have to be fair about that. Moses might do a bit more attacking flair than Cleary. So if you're looking at attacking flair, Moses has more than Cleary and Adam Reynolds. So you could argue that Robson's going to be good defensively, but yeah, I just where are the points going to come from is my concern. With Cook, I think he'll get out of dummy half well, and they've got to get it to Latrell. That's why I thought Cody Walker should have been there, because I think Cody Walker would have given that pass to Latrell. Well, Luai's going to have to step up. He's going to have to be one of the keys, I think. Jerome Luai, this is his time to step up and say that I don't rely on Cleary. I can win this game by myself. This is a chance for Luai to step up. I think he needs to probably have a man-of-the-match performance if they're going to win this game. Him and Latrell, I think they are the X-factor players in the side at their best. They're going to have to deliver, as well as Tommy Turbo needs a big game. He was pretty average in game 1, and he needs to get out and about around the field. Now, let's look at Queensland. Here's the Queensland selection there. Reece Walsh at fullback. Coates comes in for Cobbo. Then you got Futuaker comes onto the bench instead of Arrow. So there's some big controversies here, like it was in game 1 for Queensland. And Nanai comes in for Gilbert, and they're leaving Felise Kaufusi out of the team. Are you kidding me? I think Queensland's still going to get away with the selection, but I think Kaufusi and the team probably guarantees Queensland the win, but they've given New South Wales a little bit of opportunity here, because Kaufusi is that type of player that State of Origin needs, and that big defence, and I don't think Nanai is going to come up with the same impact. Yes, he can score tries, but he doesn't come up with the same impact that Felise Kaufusi has. So it's an interesting selection here. I know he hasn't played for a month, but Jeremiah Nana hasn't played much more games, to be honest, than Felise Kaufusi. I would have put him in, straight in. So if you agree with me, Queensland fans, smash the like button, because Kaufusi should have been there. But they're probably still going to win anyway, but I think that's a big mistake to have him in there. Footawake has been very, very solid for a long time. It deserves the selection, but you could argue there's quite a few players here. But look who's on the team. You got AJ Bribson, of course, who's going to be 18th, 19th man. You got Christian Welsh has in around the team as well. So there's some Kayln Ponga, of course, and Dane Gagai. This is the first time you could nearly argue Kurt Capewell, of course, who probably deserved maybe to be on the bench selection here, but not to be. You could put a case for once and probably ever that Queensland could probably select the second team and it would be competitive. If you said that a couple of years ago, or any time probably in the last 20 years, or since Origin's been, you would say Queensland haven't had the depth. But because of adding that extra, the Dolphins into the competition, there's just more Queensland players now playing at a higher level instead of Q Cup level, and they're starting to see the benefits of it for the Queensland team, and it's going to continue to grow, especially if they add another team in that area as the 18th team. Whether that happens, I'm not sure, but for all the Queensland fans, to me, this is looking like a game over situation. So let's have a look at what's likely going to happen in this game. Obviously, we're expecting a dry track. If that is the case, it's going to suit Cook's game. It's going to include Mitchell's game, Latrell Turbo. But yes, this is where the question's got to be tested here. Reece Walsh has to be tested. He wasn't tested in game one. He really needs some of these big forwards, Payne Haas, Junior Paulo, have to go at him early. Absolutely smash him. If you're a New South Wales fan, you need them to absolutely smash Reece Walsh. He was solid. He wasn't outstanding in game one. He had a solid game. But they really need to give him a baptism of fire, as Anthony Milicello said in game one. They really need to give him a baptism of fire. But these arguments, Reece Walsh could be one of the best ever by the end of this career. Can he be better than Billy Slater? Well, you'd hope Billy Slater is the Queensland coach for 10 years. I don't see that happening, but if it was the case, then, well, how good would Reece Walsh be? So if we're comparing fullbacks, I think this Tedesco's opposite to Reece Walsh's, so it depends on what you say. Tedesco will have involvements, but Reece Walsh will come up with the classic play, so I'm going to tick Reece Walsh for that position. We'll look at the wings. It depends on where they all play, but anyway, so got Josh Adokar and Corey Oates. Not sure which way these players are going to play, but and then so Josh Adokar and obviously Brian Toho are the wingers. So Coates, can he deliver? Can he deliver what is needed for the Queenslanders? With Tuolangi on the other side, it's going to be interesting. I think, it's an interesting call because Coates can be brilliant. But I think New South Wales have them in this position. I think Cobbo was a point of difference. Coates is very good in the air too, but I don't know if he's much of a running game as much as Cobbo is. So that's going to be an interesting one if they're going to get the meters out of the back five. The centre pairing of Latrell Mitchell and Latrell Turbo, well, that is where New South Wales need to deliver. And it's been done before. When they've done it in 2021, they absolutely carved up. They need to play to their absolute best if they're going to pull off the miracle that has never happened, winning in Suncorp and winning the series after game two. So they can make history here in Bradford. They can keep his job. Those two are going to have to fire. And they absolutely have the chance to against Valentine Holmes and Hamiso. Hamiso did very well in the first game, speed to burn. But I think he's going to get more tested. I'm expecting Latrell Turbo to bounce back. And this could be where the game gets interesting, because there's a big opportunity here. But this is where I think New South Wales have absolutely let themselves down. But it's up to Luai to deliver. Munster and Cherry Evans. So Cherry Evans, the organiser. Munster does the razzle-dazzle. And that's what Luai is, and Mitchell Moses is a bit more can be razzle-dazzle when attack. So that's going to be a question mark over that. Going forward, I think Queensland have got it better. It doesn't mean... I'm going to say Moses overall is probably better than Daly Cherry Evans at times. But on consistency, Cherry Evans has been better than Moses. That's probably the best way to put it. Moses has probably got more talent, but Cherry Evans has been more consistent over time. So that's where the difference is there. The front row stocks, Junior Paulo and Payne Haas, they need big games. They should be the strongest right here, right now. When you look at those two, they should really carve up here. But they find a way not to carve up. For whatever reason, they find no way to carve up here. So it's going to be interesting how the forwards are going to go against Lindsay Collins, who really knows how to get out there, and Tommy Flegger. So it's going to be interesting there. But that's where New South Wales can dominate. Back row Cameron Smith. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back shortly.